Hi everyone and welcome to my channel with me Amalia, but you can call me Leah. I'm doing this on live so you can participate in this through the chat, doing questions, saying whatever you want to say. Today I'm going to talk about my last visit to the Museum of Memory and Human Rights and the principal topic of it. For what I'm going to talk about, it's necessary that you know what equality and justice mean. Equality refers to recognition and respect of the human rights of all people without any discrimination, and justice refers to the search for truth, reparation, and recognition of human rights violations committed during the military dictatorship. Someone asked, what are the human rights? Human rights are principles that protect the dignity and freedom of all people. They were established in the Universal Declaration of Human Rights on December 10 of 1948 in Paris, in response to the atrocities of World War II to ensure that all human beings are treated with respect and justice. The Museum of Human Rights was created on January 11 of 2010. In the museum, you can see so many stuff about the dictatorship suffered in Chile, like documents, testimonials, and different tests that verify the violation of human rights at the time. To put you in context, in 1973, General Augusto Pinochet decided to take power by force over the then government of President Salvador Allende. Before you ask, a military dictatorship is when the military imposes its authority, violating the democratic system that governs the country's politics, in this case, Chile. Kai asked, what was happening in Chile and internationally before the dictatorship? Internationally, the world was marked by the Cold War, high inflation, product shortages, and decolonization in Africa and Asia. In Chile, Salvador Allende's socialist government implemented agrarian reforms and nationalized key industries, leading to an economic crisis and deep political polarization culminating in the coup d'etat on September 11, 1973. Martin asked, and after? After the dictatorship, democratization became a global trend, with many countries in Latin America and Eastern Europe following suit. In Chile, efforts to address human rights violations included the creation of the National Truth and Reconciliation Commission. This process was crucial for facing the past and building a future based on justice and respect for human beings. The human rights were truly infringed during the dictatorship, and in this museum is demonstrated through various tests and testimonies of political prisoners who were tortured. I think that these human rights violations made the country stop trusting in justice because it took more than 20 years for the people who were harmed and survived to have damage reparation. Emily said, there were also dictatorships in Argentina and España. What are their similarities and differences with Chile? These dictatorships share similarities in human rights violations, suppression of political opposition, and neoliberal economic reforms. However, they differ in duration and transition, international influence, and cultural and social impact. Someone asked, were children affected during the dictatorship? Yes, because children's rights violations were extensive and severe. They were exposed to violence, torture, and imprisonment, violating their right to safety. Illegal adoptions and forced separation disrupt family connections. Instability and trauma hinder their access to education and healthy development. Liz say, what happened with the army and their families? The military's significant power led to widespread human rights abuses, including torture and disappearances. Military families enjoyed privileges but faced psychological stress and moral dilemmas. The regime's economic policies favored some but increased inequality and hardship for many. Post-dictatorship, efforts to hold military personnel accountable have been slow, and military families face social stigma. The Chilean military has reformed to modernize and distance itself from its past, but public perception remains complete with ongoing debates about its role and legacy. Matt asked, what would you have done differently if you were the president at that time? I would have prioritized maintaining democratic institutions and upholding the rule of law. Additionally, I would have sought peaceful resolutions to conflicts and avoided the use of military force against civilians. Sophia say, what would you have done differently if you were the military army in charge at the time? Instead of supporting a coup, I would have advocated for dialogue and negotiation to address any political or social unrest. My approach would emphasize the military's role as a protector of the people, not as an instrument of repression. Elias say, which was the impact of the dictatorship in the country and your family? In the country caused deep social emotional trauma due to human rights abuses, economic inequality from neoliberal policies, and lasting political challenges by dismantling democratic institutions and entrenching military influence. In my family, we suffered the exile of several relatives due to the dictatorship, causing great social emotional pain and economic hardship. Politically, the regime's suppression left us feeling powerless and mistrustful of institutions. Dorian asks, why do you reckon it is important that your and future generations know about this historical fact? It's important because it helps ensure that atrocities committed during that period are not forgotten, honoring the memory of the victims and acknowledging their suffering. It serves as a powerful reminder of the dangers of totalitarianisms and the importance of protecting democratic values and human rights. And it's important educating future generations about this history fosters a culture of vigilance and resilience, helping to prevent similar abuses from occurring in the future. And that was all for today, guys. Thank you for entering the live and chat with me. See you. Bye.